What's up, y'all? I'm Allyn, Hane, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. So you can probably hear in my voice, I am fighting a cold, but that's all right because the content must go on. So today we're going to start a little video series. I think this is probably going to end up being 2 videos on how to spray weeds in the lawn. And it's not just how to spray them, but how to choose the weed control, and then how to mix the weed control, and then how to put the weed control down. So I think that's probably going to be best broken up into 2 different videos. And as always, I'm going to do the best I can to overcomplicate it while also keeping it overly simple. With that, I want you to realize also that I am using what I'm calling over-the-counter products here, things that I went to my local Home Depot and got and picked up. And when I did that, there was a few things I looked for before I even bought something. So let's go take a look first at how to kind of choose the weed control when you're actually at the store. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to think about are signal words. We want to look for some certain signal words when we go to buy our weed control, and this goes for any grass type. It doesn't matter where you live. You want to look for signal words. You want to stay away from words like poison ivy and brush killer, or burnout, weed and grass killer. You want to stay away from those types of words. Instead, you want to look for things that say kills weeds, not the lawn, or for northern and southern lawns, or weed killer for the lawn. If you see those types of words, then you'll realize that you're probably getting close to being in the right section. Then the next thing you want to look for is to make sure that your grass type is actually on the label as okay to spray. Now in the north this won't be as difficult, but in the south you definitely have to pay attention because our grass types are so variable and different, as well as in the transition zone where some of you folks may have cool season and warm season grasses mixed together. So again, it's important to understand what your grass type is and make sure that the label indicates okay to spray for your grass type. All right, so here are the products that I picked up. So what's interesting is, I really like this image product here, but the active ingredients, this is another thing that's important to do, is look at the active ingredients. They're the same on these products. And so that's kind of interesting here, is even though they're under a different brand name, it's the same thing. This has penoxylam, sulfentrazone, 2,4-D, and dicamba, and so do these. It's the exact same thing, and then they're in very similar concentrations as well. There it is, penoxylam, sulfentrazone, 2,4-D, and dicamba. So let me pause right here. At the end of the day, the purpose of this segment is to, number 1, make sure you look for your signal words. Number 2, make sure that your grass type is listed as okay to spray on the label. And then number 3, have a basic understanding of what the active ingredients are in the products that you're using. The reason that's important is because after you're done, if there are weeds that didn't die, that tells you then that you need to do a little further research and that the next product you buy will need to be a different active ingredient. So it's good to know what you have. And then the third piece is to understand that there are different delivery methods, and you can use those 3 different delivery methods to cover your lawn smartly and wisely. Hey, I did want to take just one quick minute here and say, if you do have warm season grass, zoysia grass, St. Augustine, Bermuda, centipede, bahia, I've got a warm season guide for you. It's a full year's plan of lawn care. It's all been updated. It's over 133 pages now. I'm really proud of it. I got really good feedback on it. If you click the link in the description below, you can pick that up. And what it is it's a guide to all my other content. It's kind of like the bones or the backbone to everything else I do, because as you can imagine, I shoot a lot of videos here. I do a podcast, I send out emails, and I put a lot of tips in all of those different things. And it's really hard to kind of keep that all together and understand it, especially if you're new here and you're coming back trying to dig through 10 years worth of archives of my content. That could be a lot to try to find. So what the guide does is it kind of just ties it all together for you. If you click the link in the description below, you can buy that. It's 25 bucks. I really appreciate that. It helps support the channel and what I do, but I also think that you'll get massive value from it. Cool season, folks. Your update is coming. We're going to send it out Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, but we're really shooting for Tuesday. I've got it all rewritten, completely revamped. It's completely different this year. Again, well over 100 pages. I think last year's was 25 or 30 maybe, but either way, really excited for you to get that. So if you've already bought the book, you get the updates for free. We're going to be sending that out to you. Cool season folks who have not bought the book yet, just wait a couple days and pick it up, or you can pick up the old one and get the update a day later if you want. Either way, I'd really appreciate it if you do that. One other quick announcement. I know you guys don't like when I get too pitchy, that's why I talk so fast, but I wanted to say that Prodiamine is now available for almost the entire country. We had to keep you guys limited up in the Northeast, up in New York and New Hampshire and up Connecticut and up that way, New Jersey. We had to limit that, but we now have that warehouse stocked and full up north, so you guys can go ahead and order your Prodiamine and get ahead for the year. It's the exact same Prodiamine that I talk about in my pre-emergent guide as well as in the warm and cool season guides, and it's one that I'm going to do a video on in the next week. Let me show you one thing I got here. So I bought this Scott's Edge Guard here. I know a lot of you guys have this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up, take it from beginning, and I'm going to throw Prodiamine with it and show you what spreader setting to use, because that's what everybody asks. What spreader setting do I use? So I'll show you how we come up with that. And when we do it, we're going to do it with this very product here, which is the one that we have available for sale. If you click the link in the description below, you can get it. I promise yours will not come stained with RGS though. So either way, look for that video coming in the next week or so, where we're going to go in and break this bad boy in and sling some Prodiamine, baby. This is good because a lot of people ask me, Alan, how long does weed control last? Well, weed control that's mixed up from a concentrate, I mean, it varies, maybe a week or two if you keep it out of the heat and out of the sunlight. But other than that, it's going to start to degrade really, really quick. I mean, even after a week, it's pretty much not going to be good. But for some reason, when they do them this way, they're able to keep it preserved. So that's one of the advantages to this right here. Now, another thing is if you only have a light weed control problem, there's no shame in this game. Get this little sprayer and go out and take care of it. The other thing you can do is once you get on top of a really bad weed control problem with a product like this that's meant for, you know, wider spray or larger square footage, once you get on top of your weed problem, you can use this product to just patrol on the weekends, tic-tac-toe, and kill little things that come in. So it's kind of interesting how you can use these strategies all together. By the way, I do want to say, Roundup is a signal word for a lot of you guys because they branded it so much as their glyphosate and kills everything type brand. So I know a lot of you guys like to stay away from the word Roundup, and I understand that, but you can see they're real careful in labeling it for you where it says kills weeds, not the lawn. Now, another delivery method that is really becoming popular, I don't ever remember so many of these hose-in sprayers. They call this ready to spray. This is called ready to use, RTU. That's what these are called, ready to use. And this is called ready to spray, so RTS. Kind of interesting how they do that. These are nice because, you know, there's no mixing or anything. You don't have to really have any concern of products. You don't have to worry about kids or anything getting into this quite as much or as easily. And, you know, when it's done, it's done. Now, these cover a certain square footage. This particular one covers 5,000 square feet. I think I paid 12 bucks for this, so 12 bucks for a 5,000 square foot lawn is not too bad, really. And that was if you did have a problem bad enough that you needed to blanket spray. Now, if you have a smaller lawn, you are going to have to do a little math. You'll have to use the sight glass here on the side. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but it does tell you, so if you only had a 2,500 square foot lawn, then you would just keep spraying, blanket spraying until you got down to halfway, of course. But either way, this is a great option. There's no shame in this game, and this is a quality weed control. I told you guys in a previous video that I really like what's here and what's in this. So, and then if you have to really hit larger areas, that's why they have the concentrates. And this is what I typically go for, because if I'm going to go ahead and spray today, and I'm going to mix up 2 gallons, and that 2 gallons will cover most of the lawn. I'm going to blanket spray some areas, I'm going to zone spray others, and I'm going to spot spray others. I'm going to show you how to do that, and we're going to do it using this method. But I did want to explore these others with you if it is something that you wanted to look at. Again, you take care of your major weed problem with these, then you go back to this little here, little spot spray here and there to control things in between. That's a really good way to do it, and you're not spending a ton of money, and this can keep over time. I don't know where I'm going to put this in the video, but it's very interesting. I tweeted out a picture of these weed controls. I often will tweet out when I'm filming, you know, like what I'm filming or whatever. And somebody came back and made a comment on the tweet like, oh no, not Roundup. Very interesting, because that also happened to me in the Home Depot when I was buying this. A guy said something to me about that too, that it was Roundup. Check this out.
That Roundup give you cancer, man.
You think?
It was on the news.
Not this one. That one.
That one there?
Yeah, glyphosate. These don't have glyphosate. But if you don't wear the right protection, they'll all give you cancer. Everything in this whole thing. Yeah, gotta wear long pants, long sleeves, all that stuff.
Wear your mask.
But in case it's not clear, this Roundup right here, this is completely different active ingredients. This has nothing to do with glyphosate. I'm going to use some glyphosate actually in an upcoming video because I've got that product in the back there, that Scott's Pro Vista that's glyphosate tolerant. You're going to see that, and you're going to see me using proper PPE there as well. But I just want to say, none of this is sponsored. None of these weed controls are sponsoring me. None of these companies are. But that Roundup, that is not the same thing. So I just wanted you to see that is not the same thing you're seeing in the news that causes cancer. Sing it, baby. Sing it. Do sing some more.